Hey guys, welcome to 80 People Podcast. I'm Monto.
Phil.
Elliot.
And
Go. All right. So today we had, or not today, it was actually yesterday, we got some news about Rock Band VR being created and being created exclusively for the Oculus Rift on the PC. So this is kind of a weird situation for the PC community because the PC community is so open normally, and this is creating a divide because there's going to be multiple VR headsets all playing on PC, and we're going to have games that are
So it's kind of it's like the consoleization of PC.
Exactly. We're having a console, a potential.
So we're going to get all the
war.
benefits of console now on
All
PC.
the
Is that what you're saying?
benefits, exactly. All the benefits about meeting a new friend and then being like, we should play together. Oh, what one you got? Oh, sorry, I have the other one.
yeah, what a bummer, dude. It feels like this, and cheesy to say, but the rift between literally the Oculus Rift and everyone else, it almost feels like it's becoming another battle between Xbox and the PS4. In a
weird, it's more similar to me in a console compared to PC.
Yeah.
Because the Vive side is still going to be very, very open. The Vive isn't the only headset being made for OpenVR or Steam VR or any of that stuff. There's a lot of headsets that are going to be made being compatible by all different companies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's really
like Samsung VR. Like it's an Android thing, right?
Well, Samsung actually is working with Oculus. They have a big they're basically one and the same when it comes to they're obviously separate entities, but they worked so close to create Gear VR.
Yeah.
It's an Oculus Samsung product.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's actually related to Oculus.
It exists underneath the Oculus umbrella somewhat in the software side. So with the PC VR market is more the area that.
But it runs Android apps, right? Samsung Gear VR.
Well, the Gear VR is a Samsung phone.
Yeah.
Deep, at the core of it. So it runs the Samsung apps, but it also runs apps that are made specifically for Gear VR that you buy through the Oculus store.
Through the Oculus store, not through the Android store.
I don't believe it's through the Android store. It might be, but I'm pretty sure it's the Oculus. I think it is.
But that's just because the kind of stuff I'm interested in is just because it creates a lasting impact on like what kinds of content you end up getting. It's not just like it's not just like a I choose this one side because I think Xbox is cooler than PS4 or Sony something. It's just that if only they really could play nicely together, then I really wouldn't care at all. It's the fact that it just like causes segregation at the end of the day, and the developer has to make like 4 versions of the same game to really reach all the people that want it, actually want it, and it's just unfortunate. I was hoping that at some point we would be able to like get over it technologically or something, or be able to just overcome it, make it all work, and then I guess wouldn't that be good for everyone? Wouldn't the consoles kind of make more money too or something? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that, I don't know.
I know what you're saying. And
not exactly.
They probably are making the most money the way they're doing it. I mean, that's, potentially the douchey kind of way that the consoles are doing it. It might make them more money. But, I don't think it can't make them enough money to warrant such a dramatic decision. It's clearly just because, it's kind of like the whole, they just want to lock people into fanboyism. Yeah. That way they can keep the same market and maybe just get a few additional people and a few people leave, but they create that fanboyism and they just keep them held on. And I'm afraid Oculus is kind of betting on that.
They're taking that tactic
because there's a lot of Oculus fanboys out there. There's a lot of Valve fanboys as well.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of Oculus fanboys, and you go to like the subreddit. There's some good conversations and stuff, but there's so many people you can just tell they're so blinded by this loyalty. Mm-hmm. And it's really disappointing. And the exclusive content makes them even more loyal to Oculus.
Yeah, it gives them.
It's just so disappointing. And then I hear people talking bad about, like saying, well, you should get an Oculus because Oculus will be able to play all the games that the Steam VR is, because Steam VR games are open. Mm-hmm. Like they know what Oculus is doing is kind of douchey, but they're supportive of it in a weird way. They're happy it's going to beat that, they're happy that it may beat the Vive.
I have heard that Lighthouse 5 system is pretty cool.
The tracking system is solid, and
and the visuals of it and all that. I mean, just the people do say it's pretty solid of a product, which which I have high expectations from Oculus. I just have not heard the same thing from people who've used it yet. That's all.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean boom, like they failed me. No, not at all. I'll just decide for myself if I ever get the chance to try both of them.
Sure.
But it is reassuring to hear that is like, what people literally who have said after taking it off. They're just like wowed by it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both headsets are going to be good quality headsets.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a chance to only try the Oculus consumer version one. I haven't tried the Vive yet, but it's a wonderful product.
Sure.
And I
believe it. Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole Apple PC thing a little bit, even, where it's like Apple, they make good products.
Yeah.
I just don't like how they make it so exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm stuck in the PC world for just technical reasons. I would, in my perfect world, I would just have both and not have to worry and really care about it. I kind of I like a lot of stuff that Apple does with their OS, but it's a little difficult to be bothered by having to juggle both, I guess.
Yeah.
And
it's
Apple has a little too. That's the thing. I don't really have an extra few grand I could just throw at like the convenience and fun of just like
having a Mac.
Enjoying that. Yeah. I'm cool. Like I just gotta get my work done. I could do it on a PC. I'm cool.
Yeah, and Apple does have a little bit of a forgiveness because they are so removed from PC. So it's like it makes sense that there's going to be natural exclusivity. It's just because the operating system is so different that it really is hard work for a developer to make something that runs on both.
Yes.
So it's like they pick and choose what ones they're going to.
It's almost two completely different programmings.
Absolutely. I mean, so many companies end up having to drop one or the other just because it's too much work.
Yeah.
Both. But the Oculus and the VR headset, the Vive, developers have said it's not very much different, So the only exclusivities are ones that exist because Oculus has forced them to exist.
Yeah,
or they've chosen
strategically placed.
Yeah,
like lockdowns.
Yep. The only positive side to this, and it's a sad side, is that the PC has a strong modding community, and so people are like, you don't really need to worry about it too much. There's going to be modders who are going to figure out a way to let you play Oculus games on whatever headset you want. Like they're going to break it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
against the will of the developer, they're going to be like, "Damn you!"
I wish I wish there was enough people that did that with like consoles. Like I would love to be able to play, I don't know, a PC or a PS4 game on like an Xbox or vice versa. But,
I know those things are so locked.
But yeah, those don't happen. You know.
Nope.
Kind of sad that a lot of them have died. Well, and I guess emulation has kept a lot of that stuff alive. That's pretty nice.
A little bit, but they haven't really done
it's hard
so
to get
much
back
with
to those old games.
Like the newest consoles. Like there's no emulators really for those.
Yeah.
So you can't really play because it sucks. I'd love for there to be a PS4 emulator.
Yeah.
I'd finally be able to play all those great story games that Sony funds and doesn't give to us.
Now Uncharted.
I know. Last of Us.
Yeah.
Or Last of Us, Deck other things, that is PS4 only, right?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
I believe so.
Yep. It's just a bummer,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of people will eventually buy both. I don't know. I just sort of, I guess because I'm so integrated in the console community, or I was at least, that I feel like a lot of people had both the Xbox and the PS4. So maybe one day people will have both Oculus and the. But I don't know. The PC community. Maybe like people will just say "F you." They only want this free content, and they'll only go with the.
See, I grew up with consoles. I was always a little bit behind. My friends always had consoles. But honestly, even currently at work, I work with a lot of people who have consoles. I always hear them like getting excited about a new game, but being on different consoles, and so they can't play together.
Yeah,
it's such a common thing. I mean, some like wealthier families, or families with multiple kids, where each kids get different presents.
Or something.
It's
no big
it's
deal,
a little different, but
not everyone does it. Not everyone has multiple games for each console.
Oh my god! Yeah, could you imagine?
Like, I'll just get that game. Yeah, I'll get it on both systems so I can play.
So I can play with Jimmy.
$60-$70.
Yeah, exactly.
They like make this mechanical rig that synchronizes their controller to their other consoles, so it's like plays in real time. I don't know.
There's really nothing that's open anymore. It's just the internet, I guess, is the last surviving thing that has no exclusivity to anybody.
The thing is I don't mind if there's certain, like Oculus, I'd be fine if Oculus only sold their games through Oculus, whatever. Oculus Home, I think what it's called. The same way that Ubisoft does Uplay. It's annoying, but I'm fine with it. It doesn't cost me any money. It's different, like where they're like trying to force an exclusivity where you have to buy other hardware, which is more the console thing.
I guess people get a little. People, I see. At least it seems nowadays. I didn't see exclusivity. I don't feel like people used to complain about it when I was younger, but these days I feel like people are starting to get around to a point where they don't like it because I guess maybe it feels like it's a consumer. The consumer is completely losing out on it. I mean, I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, guess what? This is how they make money." I mean, it's not like we don't know that. I understand that that's a tactic, and they do it because they want to draw people to their product. We're not ignorant to the basic business tactics, but we're actually questioning how good they are versus other kinds of thinking, like Valve's approach to stuff. They're obviously a super successful company, and they're so successful they don't even care about their flagship game at this point. I know they're just kind of like seeing they're doing these bigger picture moves and stuff.
I'm glad that Vive is doing their thing, their way.
They succeeded on being open. That was the premise. They're on being moddable as a game, creating that Steam thing, which really sucked in the beginning. I have to say, I'll be a voice for that. I was into it in the beginning, cool, but it sucked in the beginning. It literally didn't work. Yeah, the early days of Steam just fucking didn't work. It sucked, and it kind of. I'm actually surprised they were able to kind of turn that around.
Push through it.
Yeah, they pushed through it. They just eventually fixed it. I guess they weren't ready for the challenge of the whole digital distribution thing when they first put their foot in there.
Oh, sure.
Whatever.
That is a big change in your company's function. Yeah. Going from a gaming company to straight up a middleman company.
You know? Like a distribution.
Yeah.
And they handle the whole, ownership and key process and stuff. And it's surprising actually how they've really contributed to reversing the trends of, reversing. I don't know if I can say that, but just having an impact on game piracy. People buying so many more games now because of the convenient availability of it and it not being a problem.
I really do think that, the consumers, because honestly, the companies, like the big companies nowadays, are just so wealthy. That they're screwing us. Yeah. As a consumer, you're being screwed because of how much profit these companies are making. Profit. It should be going back into something, that money should, but it's not. They're just making more money. And so honestly, they better make it easy, because piracy is so hard. It's not hard to justify pirating things that are difficult to get, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. and cheap.
Exactly. Or if they overcharge things. Yeah. It's like when I remember Louis C.K. did his stand-up thing and he sold it for $5 and he just said, "Hey, you guys, just please buy it." He's like, "I know people pirate it, but please buy it. It's only $5."
And I know people,
I bought it.
I know people complain a lot about DLC and add-on content, and it totally legitimate complaints actually. But sometimes I do step back from it, and I think that it's the value still seems to be there. Generally, $60 games tend to be cost so much time and so many people to produce, and then there's $30 games and $10 games and whatever $1 games and for the they're often priced reasonably, I think, when I step back from it. You can find overpriced ones, you can find deals, whatever, but I do, and I do think there are some twisted things with the whole DLC stuff, and pay a little more, get a little more later, pay to win items and stuff. I mean, there's totally legitimate things that mess with the whole game development make what games are, and so that stuff we should still argue our way through that all and get to the bottom of it. But I'm not necessarily strongly opinion on it. I'm just I step back and watch the people who are a little bit more passionate about that issue duke it out.
I mean, I don't think that $60 for a good game is overpriced necessarily. But I do think that it's disappointing how often games are released broke. Because
definitely.
I have things I want to talk about, but I don't know if I should. Anyways, in some places, they put a lot of money. Okay, I can talk about this. Some gaming companies put a lot of money into having a lot of employees they're paying in order to make sure they release products that are good quality.
Yeah.
Where other companies are so stuck on saving all the money they can, making the biggest profits they can. Because game companies, they do take a lot of people to produce, but they're still a handful of people at the top who are making unreasonable amounts of money.
Yeah, and there's different ones. It's just different companies run different ways.
Exactly. I mean, there's small companies who people like. Honestly, it's hard. It's not like you're going to be rich necessarily having a small gaming company.
Yeah.
You know, unless you make it big like Minecraft or Flappy Bird somehow. You know. But for the most part, there's some people making way too much money. Then some people would rather make more money than to make sure the product is high quality.
Yeah,
it's like the whole like Fallout 4 situation that's happening right now. Like I don't even play the game, but like I work with people who play the game, and you hear the opinions and you hear the feelings, and the bugs exist, but it's not even just the bugs because people are fine with bugs apparently when it comes to Fallout 4.
Because when it comes to something they just have wanted for so long,
but they just complain like saying like it feels like the features aren't done. Like they just were like, all right. Just put it in.
Yeah.
And that's like because they just wanted to they wanted to make as much money as possible.
Exactly.
Rather than extend it longer, make people wait longer, put more money into a product. They knew the game was going to make huge amounts of money just because it's Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so they could have put more money into it.
Yeah, and it's they can expect a certain response from the community at this point on how they're like, well, it is Fallout 4. I mean that can literally be a response to a lot of like potential problems in a way.
Yeah.
They're like, well, this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, it's Fallout 4.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't mean to hate on it too much, but I was a fan of Fallout 3 and I enjoyed that type of game.
But everybody at this point knows who Bethesda is.
Yeah, totally.
They know what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. That.
I was surprised to hear what people, because I'm familiar with that type of game. They were saying it has bugs from like Fallout 3 in it, like same bugs like that have been removed, and I don't
bugs
can't
have been fixed by modding
but
community. I think.
And then they're
really
like,
wow.
Mods would have fixed, and then back when Fallout 4 comes out, they're back in the normal game, and that's kind of surprising. I maybe I don't really understand the process, and maybe I'm being hard on them or something, but like this is a massive game. Like you guys are a really profitable company. You couldn't. Yeah. I'm just surprised at stuff like that. I don't know how that happens. Maybe it is just so complicated that I don't get how, I don't understand what it means. Maybe it really is bug 6,000 on a list of 20,000. But I don't know.
Maybe, but come on, you guys.
Maybe. Yeah, listen, I'm just making excuses for him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give him an out here. Just take one. Take
you're being
anyone.
awfully nice. But I just think overall there's it's too much business. Not enough like
play.
Not enough emphasis on quality.
Yeah.
Like as pretentious as it is, like when you see like a performer who's like all like stuck up, but like they perform really well. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know, like a good example is someone like I don't know, like Jay-Z might bother me, but he does produce good products usually.
He's good at what he does.
Where it's like he has so much money and he actually puts it into it. He puts it back into. He makes a bunch of money. But he puts about a lot of it back in. Mm-hmm. And a lot of big companies haven't been doing that as much recently. They've been too caught up in making money, not about the quality product. I guess what I'm saying is he makes good products, makes a lot of money from it. There's too many companies nowadays who they just want to be successful as a business, not as making good products.
Yeah.
I mean, because like the Oculus is going to be a good product, going back to that. But they're very much going a business route.
Yeah, definitely.
Release, which is fine.
Thanks, Facebook.
Well, yeah, I mean, Facebook is a big part of it. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that Facebook. What does Facebook do? They make money.
Yeah, exactly.
They're a public company. That's the
and they make money by stealing.
They have to.
Exactly. Stealing videos and just all that kind of bullshit.
That boot. What is it called? Boot loading.
Oh, yeah.
Not bootlegging.
No, yeah.
Freebooting.
Freebooting.
Yeah, I saw those videos on freebooting.
Yep.
It's surprising because I was like, when you see that, you're like, oh, that is so obvious. I've been seeing that forever. But all of a sudden, now that it gets explained to you, it just hits you like a truck. I feel kind of dumb. Yeah. But I mean, they have to make videos about that stuff. It is kind of tricky once especially if you don't.
If you're not part of that whole world.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're like me, if you don't understand advertising.
Like me.
I mean,
most people probably.
I've never made money off of videos. I didn't even know, I don't know the whole process. I didn't realize how easy it is for other people to steal your content and make money off of it. And it's just crazy. But the whole Facebook thing is kind of just a frustrating thing. And they're all about being people like to use the term like a walled garden.
What does that mean?
They want you in with them.
Yeah.
And they want you to stay inside this garden with them. it's, you know, you look at like what Facebook is doing recently, and they're like trying to get their foot in the door of locking in, like, we own part of the internet. It's a free internet service that they would, because they wanted that satellites around the world thing.
Yeah.
And they want to give people internet, but it's internet that's like through them.
It's Facebook internet.
And that's like a super walled garden. I mean, you know,
Could I not use it because I don't have Facebook?
Weird.
So I have to log into Facebook
I'm not
to
sure
use it.
what situation
I bet you if you use it, it would just make sense that you'd literally be giving up all privacy to them at that point because you're agreeing to use their free internet.
I mean, I'd be surprised if they gave you a bunch of privacy. That'd be very nice of them.
Yeah, that would be. We would be very. I'm sure everyone would be very praiseful of them. Look at all this privacy they give us.
I just feel like it's one of those concerns I have because like it's like the world has a moment where it's like we're going to be a capitalistic world or like a socialistic world, and Facebook is what we'll get with capitalism world. You know, so I don't know what we'll get with socialism world, but we already know what we'll get with capitalism world. That's Facebook running our telecommunications.
Yeah, actually, that's a funny point. Yeah, we could at least say we know what we'll get with what we've been doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I don't know, 50 years or something.
And it's only getting further. I mean, Windows was kind of like the first example of that walled garden. You know, they were lucky because they were like one of the first, and so they made this huge walled garden. Like it's infinite. Almost everybody is in that garden because like, oh, it's
there's
the
so
garden
much space in here.
Yeah, but it's still kind of shitty that happened in the beginning. It's something we put up with, but I just don't want it to happen again and again, and eventually be in this world where I exist with 5 or 4 big companies. I do everything.
It's weird how this always comes back to actually how we struggle. I think I was touching on it a little bit earlier indirectly when saying, like, you know, don't criticize us for pointing out that this is how companies make money.
Exactly.
Because I mean, I
understand. Yeah, they're capitalism. It's capitalism.
Yeah, I get it. They're winning the game. They're doing it right. They're being the best player in that system.
Exactly.
But so inevitably, sometimes I guess it kind of starts to direct back in a political direction about stuff like that. I guess we have a system where the companies do win by just being super dominant and trying to snuff out the ability for other people to really occupy a space and thus compete.
Exactly.
And
the whole,
especially in the first biggest,
yeah. I mean, once you're the first biggest, you control it.
It's all
the whole
done.
concept of free market is non-existent at that point. It's an illusion. It's a dream, and it's like they make it in a way where it still exists. You could still be successful.
Yeah, exactly.
And they pick out all these small
that did it.
Yeah, exactly. But look at this guy. Look at this indie guy.
Yeah.
Look at Minecraft.
Exactly.
See, anyone can do it because look at Minecraft guy.
Yeah. But now, who does Minecraft belong to? Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
It all goes back.
It's always bigger fish.
The definition of success is being bought up by a massive other existing company.
Exactly. Yep.
Ironically enough.
And the thing, it kind of sucks too because Steam is a huge company, or Valve.
Yeah.
Is a huge company. But they haven't done anything too bad yet. But it's still kind of like they're like the exception of the rule of what a capitalistic company strictly based on profits, and they make so much money, but they do a good job. They're one of those companies.
Sure, yeah, you know? and you can kind of just pick out companies just like you pick out the bad ones. You could try and pick out the good ones that seem to do it in good ways and stuff.
Yeah,
Google.
Or less common ways.
Google's pretty good. There's things I don't like about Google, but they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah,
self-driving cars. Let's do it.
Yeah, but it makes you wonder if there is another system that did foster maybe a more cooperative benefit or just like more payoff for cooperation and competition.
Yeah,
or something rather than I don't know than what we have now.
I think it's almost too late in a way for a free market to really work without a dramatic, like a military force telling the world to change.
Yeah,
because it's just like so many people work for these companies too, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you don't create loyalties, but a lot of people do create loyalties to their employer.
Yeah.
So, but even people who buy products create huge loyalties.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's kind of weird how there's such dedication to certain brands, and we're talking about gaming and stuff specifically within gaming too.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of people willing to argue a lot about what's better, what works best, or something, or and not really at all be interested in just the fact that they're all separated from each other. They're far more interested in their side just winning and being the dominant force, and rather than like, and what, you know, I don't know exactly where we go with it, like what we can, man, can't we all just get along?
Yes,
I guess
we
we
can,
would just be hippies about it, right? It's like,
We
No.
can be hippies about it.
yeah,
There's just no one
that's
to
the only-
profit from it. That's the only problem in this scenario. It's like
Well, they
we
would
profit, like we all profit like equally, you know. Whereas like what we're doing right now, there's only a few big guys that just consume it all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't mind there being people who are making profits. I
Yeah.
just don't think that they should be making the kind of profits that they're making while other people are making so little, you know? Like,
Yeah.
or how people are paying them just so much. It shows that there's something not even about how much they're charging for their products.
No, I feel like a lot of people are realizing that they don't need to pay a lot of money to get a great product. You know, they can pay like a reasonable amount and still get a great product. No matter where that is, if it's literally sunglasses, clothing, electronics, whatever it is, you know, you can really, if you do enough research and boil it down to what you need, you can get a really good product for a reasonable price.
Yeah. And if you make a really, really good product, I'm willing to spend more money on it.
Yeah.
You know, I am willing to spend more.
I think people who make good products, though, it gets passed around because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It becomes kind of an advertisement for itself.
Yeah, like word of mouth, like actual reputation is how they're making their money.
But then that's the problem, because then they know that they've got it locked down with, whether it's from a patent or just community agreement, that this is like the best of the best. And then they just open up their margins even more. You know, they just expand it a little bit more, charge a little bit for the next version.
And I think this is going to go into a crazy place, because this is really showing just like one person can make so much money, and and nowadays he doesn't need very many employees anymore.
No, absolutely.
You know? So it goes into that whole thing. Like, honestly, we're reaching a point in society where capitalism doesn't work, because one person, a billionaire, could build a giant warehouse with robots and build so much shit to sell, and he would have so few employees.
Yeah.
You know, and he'd be making so much money.
Just all to him.
And you know, that's
or her.
Yeah, where would all the you know? But eventually it would backfire on them, because they're going to be making all this money, but no one else has jobs, and so they won't be able to buy their products anyways. You know?
But yeah, and I mean, but it seems to,
unless you service his robots for free. All right, I'll give you my product if you just oil my robot's arms.
No, yeah, it does seem to be like companies are being able to produce so much more these days with so much less, but because that's what they're being challenged to do. That's literally the name of the game.
Yeah,
it's odd, because it's like we challenge companies to see how few people they actually can employ. You know, do we have an incentive to
employ more people?
Yeah, to employ.
No, I remember Bill Gates a while ago had actually said that he really thinks the president, or the government rather, needs to find a way to make incentives for companies to continue hiring people, because they don't need them as much.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, like, if you give them a tax break or something for hiring more employees,
is that actually a solution, though? I mean, it does sound slightly artificial.
It's
learning to the owner or whoever.
It puts the pressure on the
government
companies
subsidizing
soft pressure.
These big companies in a weird way, you know. But again, that just goes back to like capitalism is bigger than our government almost at this point, you know. So it's like the big companies are bigger.
Yeah, they are.
Like Google is so big in America, but they're not an American company.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like a European company or an English company or whatever it is.
Weird.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're from England, or they're over there somewhere.
Can a company move? Like, if they start in America, can they just be like, well, I want to be established in England now?
Well, it's the opposite.
I mean, like,
everyone comes
Italy.
here.
I think you have to establish in every country that you sell in.
Oh, okay. No,
you know,
that makes
but
sense.
they have their headquarters.
Yeah.
You know, is somewhere. So, yeah, because like we have, you know, different companies have offices in all over the world, in every country that they sell in that language. So,
yeah,
yep. It's just the world. The whole business side is really getting in the way of content. That's all it is.
Yeah, all the way back. Yeah, back to video games, guys. Let's have fun. We like playing games for fun.
I know, exactly. I mean,
we promise.
I like money as much as anybody, but it's just big games.
Yeah,
fun things.
It's odd how this can. It's kind of. I mean, it's pretty directly connected, because this is why entertainment is what it is today. It's a little bit. It's sort of entertainment is part two. Profit is part one. To make these products put together, and so you can really like unweave these business tactics directly out of why characters look and act and talk the way they talk, why stories are the way they are. Has more to do with the way our actual like system of making money and what makes people like drawn to it than just pure people entertainment, intrigue, storytelling.
It's like every once in a while there's a little like beacon of hope in the world. You know, it's like you look at like a company like Disney for a while, or pick, you know, with their animation studio. There was this time where the studio got so caught up in like just let's release products and make money off of selling products, and so they're releasing a lot of really bad sequels and a lot of really bad movies. And then they got a new president. The president kind of came back and was like, let's just make good stuff again. And they started making more money because they were making good animated films again, rather than these really
focusing on their content,
quality over quantity.
And that's rare. It's not always that way. Every once in a while there's that little moment, you know, you're like,
that's probably easier said than done.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, let's be badass again.
No, exactly.
Check.
But he invested a lot more money in finding the right people and the right studios and stuff to work with, and
it's impressive they can pull it off.
Exactly. I mean, they helped convince, you know, Pixar to take over their animation studio, you know. So they knew
that was the way they did it.
Like they had a good track. That's exactly what they did. They saw Pixar. Oh, they have a good track record.
They took the smaller company that they bought
Pixar
and had them fix their company.
Yeah, no,
I'm saying it in a bad way on purpose,
but it's so kind of
because
true in a lot of ways.
Just to kind of tie it back to the capitalism-ish thing we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes into the whole like that was like, I mean, Disney's a scary company because it's just so big and powerful, and it's one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But it is interesting how you can see that the current president, he's a very smart businessman, but he also understands longevity. Like he's not, because Disney is a company that I think everybody believes should last forever, almost. You know, not everybody, but every company.
I know what you're saying. I know what
Walt Disney wanted it for forever. You know, every president has wanted it to continue, and he understands you have to like keep a legacy positive if you want it to continue.
And it's one of the iconic companies for kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
and there's some companies where
as much as adults love it too. I get it.
Yeah. It's
you can send the hate mail direct.
I love myself.
Not for kids.
I'm gonna send you some email.
That's probably the worst thing I've said on this podcast. I'm sure. Was that Disney's for kids?
There's a kid in all of us, man.
All right, and I guess that's today's episode.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right. Bye. All right. Bye. All right. Bye.